see you again in the dark side.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, the Fat and the Furious. You may or may not notice a different sounding voice coming at you on this microphone I have here. That's because I just set it all up. I bought the power supply for my new microphone that I've had sitting around for like the past 6 months. And I finally got everything hooked up. I finally have everything ready. So you may or may not be able to tell the difference. I hope you can, because I don't want my microphone quality to sound absolutely terrible every single time I play video games. So, today we are playing Don't Starve, not Hamlet, Reign of Giants. So, I'm going to really quickly go through the mods that I have installed for this. There are a lot of just quality of life mods, that's about it. I have combined stats, as it says, just shows all of the stuff more accessible. Display food values does exactly what it says. Geometric placement makes it easier to place things, because in the base game, there's no grid to put things down on. It's all just kind of like wherever your cursor's at. And I like things being nice to a certain extent. So I got geometric placement. I have health info plus, because I like to actually know if I've made any progress in killing my enemies. I have ice fling range check, because the ice fling-o-matics in this game, it's kind of hard to tell where they're actually going to cover. I got a mini-map installed, because I don't really like to continuously look at my map by pressing tab. I have quick drop, just lets me throw things out of my inventory easier. Set piece configuration. Basically everything's default except for this thing called the reed trap, which I'll explain reeds later on in the series. They're important for some recipes in this game. But all it does is it makes it to where I can have a reed trap, because this is a very important thing to have in this game. And basically I would just keep resetting until I got a reed trap anyways, because I don't like playing without one. Now we have Smart Crockpot, which shows you what the recipe will be when you put things together in a crockpot. And we have Wormhole Marks, which when you use a wormhole, it will show you by color coding it where the wormholes will go and lead you to for future reference. It's good because I can't keep track of anything. Also, before we continue this video, I just want to say, first of all, this is the police series that I have on YouTube here. I accidentally, sadly, deleted the next 4 episodes of it. So there's going to be about a 4-day gap in that game. But I'll start recording new episodes for it here soon. I just haven't had the motivation to play that game, because even with the feedback from everyone else, from my understanding, it's very boring. And I understand that's mostly on me, like 90% on me, 10% on the game itself, because I was very entertaining with what I was saying. A lot of it was just really bad. Just me being dumb. That's what I'm trying to say. And I apologize for that. I realize I wasn't really enthusiastic about my content. But now I feel a lot more enthusiastic and ready to play. I also had 3 episodes of this game ready already, but I accidentally deleted that footage as well. So, we're going to start a completely brand new game of this. And I'm going to hope that my mental retardation doesn't completely ruin this. So, we're going to okay, so we're going to click on Reign of Giants as the DLC that we're going to be using it. We're going to make it compatible with Hamlet, the other DLC, which also makes it compatible with Shipwrecked, meaning that we can travel across these worlds and use all of the DLCs. The character we're going to use the base character, the very first one you start out with. And I'm going to kind of do this as a tutorial series as well as a let's play. So this is Wilson. His name's the gentleman's, or he's the gentleman scientist. Uh, his only ability that he has is he grows a beard. It takes 4 days to get like a light stubble, just like me. 4 days to get like a decently sized beard takes me about a month. And then for like a giant fat beard, which takes me 6 months, it takes him a total of another 4 days. I believe that's how it works, at least. So that's the character we're going to be using. And for the world settings, all I'm going to do is have it set to autumn, because I personally do not like playing during spring. Also, if you hear any background noise, I apologize. I'm still trying to get the microphone set up and working and all that. So basically, a lot of this game is just exploring and learning how everything works. Um, Especially if you're brand new to the game, never played before, it's just all exploration, all learning. It just takes time gradually. Uh, if I can get some of my very very few friends to play with me, um, I'll also be doing a series on Don't Starve Together, which is the multiplayer version of this game, which has twice as much content, um, which will be really nice to play with other people, because I know I am very boring. Apologies for the loud sounds. This game has a really bad problem with just being overly loud. Or at least this little intro noise that it's making can tend to be really loud, and I don't know how to stop it. There we go. Now it's starting to fade away. So, you might be wondering what all these stats are up here. This is our hunger, as you can probably tell. This is our sanity, and this is our health. When our hunger reaches 0, we start to lose health. When our sanity reaches 0, we start to start seeing monsters, which are nightmare creatures. And these guys change, and there's a couple other changes that happen. And the last one, health, when that reaches 0, you die, just like in every other video game. It's a pretty simple concept, and if you don't understand, well, I can't really help you there, buddy. But, so you might be wondering why I'm killing bunny rabbits. Well, or not bunny rabbits, butterflies. Butterflies drop a very important thing called butterfly wings. Pretty simple, explanatory. As you can see on screen, they give a hunger score and they give a health score. They are the best early game item for food. Also, these guys are pretty annoying. I'm going to try to fight. I almost just took a bunch of health for no or a bunch of damage for no reason there. So these are spiders. Their main purpose in this game is for silk. I almost just messed that up really badly. Okay, I gotta just run from these guys. I shouldn't have provoked them like that without a weapon. But, these guys will drop silk, spider glands, and monster meat. All three very important resources in this game. All three very useful in their own way. So, our main goal here is to just keep exploring and keep gathering resources. more we gather, the more will be set later on in the game. This character, he has no real special thing about him except for the beard. There's no, there's nothing bad about him, but there's nothing good about him either. Just like me, except for there's a lot of bad about me. These, right here are the two things that do the DLCs, which we'll be exploring those later, once we get very set in the base game, or the Reign of Giants version. Once we get set up with Reign of Giants, we'll start messing around with the DLCs. A lot of this game, just like I said, exploration, gathering. My goals for this series, which I'll probably be putting up on screen, number one goal would be to survive as long as possible. My longest survival rate in this game is 100 days. After that, I tend to struggle because a lot of the game has some weird mechanics that okay, I'm just trying to blame the game here. Completely honest, it's my fault that I don't survive anywhere past that. Because I get this, like, god complex after, after surviving for so long. Where I think I can take really big risks and get away with it. And then it gets me killed. And makes me lose, so... Also, this is a survival game, and it heavily focuses on the survival aspect. Meaning, when you die, unless you have something that, that will revive you, and it specifically tells you that it will revive you, or you know it will revive you, your world is over, and basically you have to restart from the beginning. Basically, just a lot of trial and error is what this game is. You learn how to play it as you sit and play it. It's kind of like Minecraft. Back when Minecraft first came out, even though I know these two games are extremely different, I can just draw similarities to the learning process. The learning process of this game is just trial and error, and so was Minecraft when it originally came out. Both games require just a lot of dedication and trial to figure out. Alright, sorry about that. Thought something was happening. So, second goal, I know I'm very unorganized and not really having any gathered thoughts, but that's just how I roll. Second goal I have is getting a very, very secure base set up. My third goal is having multiple farms set up for automatic resource gathering. I want to be the laziest motherfucker you have ever met at the end of the series. There is no reason why I should have to collect more resources than I need to on my own when this game allows you to gather resources automatically. But that's all like late game stuff. I think my last goal will probably be... No, second to last goal will be fighting at least one of every boss. In this game, you can fight the bosses multiple times per season, or like in the end. As the seasons roll around, you can fight a different boss each season. They're all varying in difficulty. Personally, the one that gives me the most trouble would have to be the one in summertime. So I don't ever fight him because I don't even like his loot. The stuff that he drops are pretty... It's meh, to be honest. Yeah, and my last goal will be to explain and show a lot of the mechanics of this game, and to hopefully encourage all of you viewers to either get the game or get Don't Starve Together, so that once I set up my Discord, we can all play this game, and maybe I can host a server for Don't Starve for a while, where all of the people can just join in and hang out and all that. So I'm gonna probably speed this footage up, starting from now, unless I have anything else to say, which I don't think I do. Um, so yeah, that's about it. I'll see you back when something interesting happens. All right, and we're already back. So this is the swamp. This is the worst place on Earth. We've got our hentai monsters just rolling around, waiting for us. Absolutely worst things in this game. Yeah, they'll attack you, and they'll do it really fast. They can get 2 hits on you, and stun lock you before you even have a chance to walk away. Um, so yeah, they're absolutely awful creatures. They do 34 damage a hit, which that's 2 hits, and you're already less than half health. So this place also has the worst ambient sounds. I might just turn off the ambient noise because of it, but honestly, this place has some good loot. Like, it has spiders, and the tentacle monsters drop one, like a really good weapon, which is their spike on their top. Um, these shacks have a group called Mermfolk, uh, who do a lot of damage, and they group up together and attack you all at once. So that's fun, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? Um, so yeah, like I said, we'll cut back to when something else happens. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. So, we found the reed trap. Now, you might be wondering how I know this is the reed trap. Well, you can see all of the reeds here, and then you can see all of the very, very angry boys, is what I like to call them. Just kidding. They are all hentai monsters. So, you walk in, you try to get anything, they're just gonna beat you up on your way in. There is a ton of reeds there. Also, this is one of the set pieces in the game, that give you one of the things, and the things in this game give you, or allow you to access the adventure type world. I kind of want to stick around and wait for either one of those guys to die, but I don't feel like it's worth it right now. I feel like it's more worth it to just run through, uh, just try to explore. I didn't mention that before, but our main goal, like for this very episode, is to explore the outside edge. The fastest that I've been able to do that is in about 5 days in this game, uh, which was very recently. but each world is perceivably generated. Excuse my awful pronunciation of that, but um, so it just means everything's random. It just over time, or you can't. There's no like specific route to find things. You just have. Oh, excuse me, I hiccuped hella hard there. Um, you just have to explore until you find what you're looking for. So we're going to once again get back to the fast forwarding until something interesting happens. That's what the main portion of this video is probably going to be, is a lot of fast forwarding, and I very much apologize for it. But this game is very boring until you are able to start doing stuff, or at least to watch, and I understand that. So I don't want to make like a half an hour video for you guys to watch and just be bored listening to it. I want to make something that's not boring to watch, even though video games as a genre itself is kind of boring as it is. It's Video games are one of those genres where you're either into it or you're not into it. You either like to watch video game content or you don't, and that's completely fine. There's no problem with it. I thought we were going to be getting into a fast forwarding, but looks like we're not. We're just gonna get right into mining. We should probably eat soon. Nighttime's upon us again, but speaking of nighttime, I forgot to explain the reason why you have to be in light during nighttime. So I'm going to explain rocks first, because if I go on a tangent, I'm going to forget to do it. So in this game, you get rocks, and the main point of them is they give you rocks and gold, or they give you flint, or they give you niter, depending on the type of rock. Now, when it comes to this these materials, they are all important for different things. Gold is made in a lot of sciencey type things. Rocks are made in like most building, and niter is used for anything that requires being cold. I don't know that's probably really not true. I've never actually fact checked if niter is actually like, or there's a chemical reaction with niter that makes things cold. No clue if it actually works or not, but whatever. So continuing on, before I get on to another tangent, the reason why you have to be in the light is because there is a monster named Charlie. Now, Charlie is, like, in the lore of this game, is the friend of, or the assistant, and I think love interest of one of the characters you can play in this game, named Maxwell. Maxwell created this world, I believe. No. Maxwell was using magic that kind of was based on this world, and it was like forbidden magic, and it pulled him and Charlie into the world. Charlie is fighting off the corruption of the magic, from what I understand, or else, she's an asshole. Let's just say that. She tries to kill you when it becomes dark. I'm not going to get into the lore. If you want to know the lore, look it up, because I don't know it all that well myself. Basically, she just comes out, she tries to kill you while you're in the dark. She does half your health the first hit, and I think it's a guarantee kill the second hit. It's either a guarantee kill or does another half of your health, like percentage-wise. Like 50% of your health for the first hit, 50% for the next hit, and then so on and so forth. So theoretically, you can out-heal the damage, I think. I don't know how true that is or not. But honestly, like, I've never had to experience that because I never try to be in the dark longer than I need to be. Um, yeah, honestly, I think I'm not gonna fast forward this last part probably, unless I realize it's getting really boring. But so far, we're in this biome here, which is, I think it's the Mycelium Forest. Maybe, I think that's might be what it's called. But in this biome, we have a couple of very big things that we can find. Number one being the Pig King. Number two being Glommer. I'll explain both of those once we actually get there. Um, I'll explain more stuff once I get a base set up, but until I get a base set up, I don't want to go on tangents and like start talking about like tons and tons of stuff and start trying to explain it. I want to explain one thing at a time and not have to worry about figuring things out and like being interrupted and then forgetting about it altogether, because that happens a lot and I tend to do that a lot. I have a very big problem on figuring out what I'm doing. As you can probably tell, that tree kind of scared me. Oh, alright, so I'm going to talk about Beefalo real quick. So these guys drop poop, and poop is used to fertilize. It's used to fertilize plants, and it's also used for building farms. Excuse me. I would use it, or I would hold on to it right now, but I have no use for it because, quite frankly, I can't use it until we already get a base set up, and it's just going to be taking up an inventory slot. I'm going to drop this pickaxe too, because if I were to try to mine a rock with it, it would break halfway through, or probably a quarter way through. I don't think, like, I'm pretty sure I just said this, but I'm not going to fast forward this section. No point in doing that. Just keep working through it. I hate when land bridges form like this. Kind of makes things look weird, but... Oh, so these guys are tall birds. They do a ton of damage. They're pretty fast. And, oh my god, did he aggro on me? Really? Oh my god. They will aggro onto you in the most, like, random way possible. And they have a huge aggro range. So, basically, their whole thing is they're super aggressive, and they try to defend their eggs. If you pick up their egg, they'll be aggro onto you for, like, a good long while. So you might as well just kill them off. That's what I usually do. They drop 2 meat, which is probably the best part about them, because they're a good food source, because not only can you kill them for food, you can then take their egg and cook that for food as well, and it's just very valuable. So, especially if you can get a huge farm of them, and pull aggro one at a time, and only fight one at a time, if you're able to do that, then you will have no problems with them. And I'll explain the kiting patterns of enemies. In this game, kiting is simply, let's pretend this bush is an enemy. Let's pretend I'm in the enemy's attack range. I just simply step out of its attack range, step back in, attack it. That's all kiting is. It's just moving out of the way of the enemy's attacks, moving right back into the enemy's attack, or into the attack range as close as you can get, so you can get attacks, and then leaving the attack range over and over and over until the thing's dead. It's the most effective strategy in this game to kill things. Best way to kill things. Okay, so we found the site of another thing, but this one's like a really good one because it has a shovel, which we're just gonna drop. I would love to take it, but I don't have the space for it. Even though I could make space, I can't utilize it the way I want to. It also has a bunch of like farming resources, as you can see. Oh, yeah, it has a bunch of farming resources. Very, very well made area to be in. Um, wow, I'm surprised we haven't found the desert yet. Like, alright, so we've explored quite a bit already. Probably about half of the map. I'm probably going to cut the episode here soon, but, like, usually the Pig King is going to be in here somewhere. And usually the Pig King is nearby a desert and the swamp. That's in almost every single game I've played of Don't Starve, Reign of Giants, that is always what happens. So I don't know if there's a second mycelium biome or what's going on. I'm hoping there is a second one because I really don't want it to, I don't want to, I don't want to have myself positioned over there, because if we were to make a base, I would want my base to be here, but the beefalo are like right here, so then I'd have to either push it over here or more down here, but there probably are more beefalo like right in here. So it's not a very good system. It's not a very good spot. Also, our reed trap spawned in a really bad spot because the first boss in this game, I'm going to be abusing the reed trap to fight. Like, I don't need to, and I'll even make a video fighting that boss without it, but it just makes fighting him easy, and it clears out the reed trap, making it to where you don't have to fight all the tentacle monsters to get them out of there, and then you have infinite access to reeds. So we're just going to keep collecting. It's almost day 5, so by the looks of it, it's going to probably take me day 6, 7 before I can finish. I'm pretty sure by day 6 or 7, I'll be done collecting and finding all these resources. Honestly, this game tends to be like very, like I said in the beginning of this episode, it's very explory. So the chunk of your time is just going to be running around finding stuff, but that's whatever. A lot of this ambient noise though is starting to bother me, like a good chunk. Ooh. Okay, so we found a really, really nice area. So these spider dens, if we can find a level 3, we're set. We're absolutely set, and we will never run out of food. We'll just be set for life. Oh, come on, tell me there's at least one level 3 here. It doesn't look like there's a level 3 spider den here, but I kind of got excited. I prematurely ejaculated there. Really thought that there was a level 3 spider den. Would have made this whole game so much easier. Would have been the best start ever. Like, it didn't matter how long it took me to find a base location. Like, that would have been set. We would have never had to worry about food. Because spider dens at level 3, if you destroy the spider den, they drop spider sacks, which will then in turn give you the ability ability to, what am I trying to say? Oh, the ability to plant your own spider's nest. So this is a blueprint for a weapon, the halberd. It's a Don't Starve Hamlet edition thing. As you saw, I got it off of a blueprint, and in this game, blueprints give you, or you can get blueprints out of these twig bushes, and they allow you to research or instantly learn a technology. Now, one last thing before I cut this episode. We're going to learn about these guys. These guys are called bishops, but they're part of the faction called the Clockworks. Now, the Clockworks are evil. Straight up the most evil thing you'll find in this game. But they drop important resources. This guy, I'm going to pause so I'm not wasting more time. This guy here, he drops, or both of them, they drop purple gems and gears. Purple gems are used for magic items, and gears are used for machinery. I'm going to attempt to grab their gears. I'm surprised they didn't aggro on me there. So yeah, we're actually super set now. We don't have a lot when it comes to items. Definitely don't have a lot of space in our inventory right now. That's one thing that we're kind of struggling with, and it's mostly due to the fact that we can't make a backpack early on because we need a science machine for it. But once it reaches, you know what? I think I'm actually going to cut it here. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me today. I've been your host, the Fat and the Furious, and I will see you all next time.